Work to this time. Alright. Definitely working through here. We've got chat. Alright, looks like everything's working. Hello everyone, good evening. I'm John from Talking Cardboard. Tonight I'm going to be opening up some Avatar: The Last Airbender packs from Magic the Gathering. I opened up my booster bundle a couple days ago here before our big Extra Life stream. I want to open up at least, a part of this booster box and see what we get for the fun of it. So here we go. Actually, I'm going to message folks quick. Oh, see if we can get some people in here to hype me up as we open some packs. Alright, now let's get started. Grab a few of these. And away we go. So, first pack. Well, just if anyone's curious what they look like. That's what we got. Play boosters. Pretty cool. Open up the first one here. See if we've got anything exciting. We got another soldier token. The ballistic boulder. Realizing I need to switch some screens around here. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. Whatever. Mongoose lizard, pirate peddlers, flexible waterbender, path to redemption, saber-tooth moose lion. Jeez. Kyoshi warriors. Abandon attachments. You may discard a card if you do draw 2 cards. Solstice Revelations, a wolf bat, Leaves from the Vine Saga, Accumulate Wisdom, another lesson, and then our rare is Toph, the Hard-Headed Teacher. When Toph enters, you may discard a card. If you do, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Whenever you cast a spell, Earthbend 1, then if that spell is a lesson, put an additional +1/+1 counter on that land. Oh, so he's going to make the land, the earth bending, a little better. I don't know why this isn't focusing. There we go. So pretty cool. Then we got Glider Kids and a land. That's that. Go to our next pack here. I'm actually putting the camera up a hair. Maybe that'll help. Although my mouse pad is an absolute mess, so that's awesome. Got the clue. Oops. An ally token and a land, apparently. We don't care about. We got Pirate Peddlers, Flexible Waterbender, Path to Redemption, another Saber-Tooth Moose Lion, Boomy Bash. Now, I'm starting to wonder that I have my focus not set here. Right there. There we go. Much better. Or I think so, at least. Foggy Swamp Hunters, Merchant of Many Hats, June Bounty Hunter. Can't be blocked as long as you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn. Sacrifice another creature, create a clue token. Activate only during your turn. Haru Hidden Talent. Spirit Oasis, Shrines. Like I said the other day, Shrines are back. We've got Zuko Conflicted for the rare. At the beginning of your first main phase, choose one that hasn't been chosen, you lose 2 life. Draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter on Zuko, add a red mana, or exile Zuko, then return him to the battlefield under an opponent's control. Interesting. Another rare, the Machinist, Aerial Artisan. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a clue token. Until end of turn, target artifact token you control becomes a 3/1. So you can turn your clues into 3/1 constructs with flying. And we got Foggy Swamp Visions, a full art foil rare. As an additional cost to cast this spell, Waterbend X. Exile X target creature cards from graveyards. For each creature card exiled this way, create a token that's a copy of it. Oh, jeez. Okay, that's pretty cool. At the beginning of your next end step, sacrifice those tokens. So it doesn't give them haste, and they end at the end of your end step. Or at the beginning of your next end step. So you either have to have stuff with ETBs or a way to give them haste. Otherwise, that's not as useful as I would hope. Probably. Alright. Next pack. Ooh, foil token? No. Just an ally. Alright. Rowdy Snowballers. Razor Rings. Rocky Rebuke. Treetop Freedom Fighters. Dali Indoctrination. Aang's Journey. Earth Rumble Wrestlers. Fatal Fissure. Sokka's Haiku, which, interestingly enough, is in the form of haiku itself, so that's pretty cool. Counter target spell. Draw a card, then mill 3 cards. Untap target land. Professor Zai. Flopsy. Boomy's Buddy. Oh, dang, that is a hit right there. That is the, well, normal art of the, chase card for the set. Wayne Shi Tong, the Librarian. Flash, Flying Vigilance. When Shi Tong enters, put X +1/+1 counters on him. Then draw half X cards rounded down. Whenever an opponent searches their library, put a +1/+1 counter on Shi Tong and draw a card. Super good. We're going to throw that off to the side right away. Oh, then we got a cool foil land. So, pretty cool. I actually have to message someone about that because they've been looking for, and of course my phone's not charging, so that is awesome. Just telling my buddy Tom that we are live, and I pulled the bird. Because the bird is the word. Alright. Oh. Losing stuff. Rough Rhino Cavalry. Corrupt Court Official. First Time Flyer. Airbending Lesson. Pillar Launch. Fire Nation Cadets. Kyoshi Battlefan. The Southern Air Temple. I haven't seen this one yet. When Southern Air Temple enters, you put +1 or X +1/+1 counters on each creature you control, or X the number of shrines you control. Whenever another shrine you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Nice. A Rockalanche. Or Sokka. We got some Fire Sagers. You, the Moon Spirit, Flying Vigilance. It is a spirit ally. Waterbend 5. You may cast a non-creature spell from your hand without paying its mana cost. While paying a Waterbend cost, you can tap your artifacts and creatures to help. Oh, okay. So Waterbending is tapping artifacts and creatures to help pay for the cost. Lost Days, and a copy token. Cool. Oh, why do I have to have my phone way over here? So you'll notice that we still do have our Extra Life fundraiser going on. I reset the timer up in the corner here. But this is our current, what we've raised so far. We raised about $1,400 this weekend on top of the $700 we previously had raised. Ostrich Horse, Rough Rhino Cavalry, Corrupt Court Official, Eloquentia, Robberoo Troop, How to Start a Riot, Earth Village Ruffians, Tiger Dillo, Unlucky Cabbage Merchant, okay, I haven't seen this one. Northern Air Temple enters, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life for X of the number of shrines. Whenever another shrine you control enters, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Simple. Oh, cool. Land. Lands are generally good, right? Or rare lands, I should say. Add a mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast an ally spell or activate an ability of an ally control, or you can pay 5 to create a. That seems steep. Nope, another one. Hakata, the Selfless Commander. Vigilance. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast ally spells from the top of your library. Sacrifice Hakata. Creatures you control get +0/+5 and get indestructible until end of turn. It's kind of cool. And oh, geez, another rare foil. Avatar. When this enchantment enters, create a 2/2 red soldier token with firebending 1. Whenever a creature you control attacking causes a triggered ability of that creature to trigger, put a quest counter on this enchantment. Then if it has 4 or more quest counters on it, you may copy that ability. You may choose new targets for the copy. Well, that's pretty neat. Ooh, the Aang token. Interesting. Alrighty then. So those will go over here. That's the first 5 or 6 packs already. Got a few more out. For those who don't know, Extra Life is a charity where you choose a children's Miracle Network hospital to have the proceeds you raise go to. And for us, we chose the St. Paul Children's Hospital in Minnesota, since that is local. Octopus Form, Glider Kids, Turtle Duck, a lot of cross animals. Lightning Strike, Beetle-Headed Merchants, Cycle of Renewal, Pretending Pox Bears, Ruinous Waterbending, Honest Work, Earth Rumble, War Balloon, and then we have the Blue-White Aang Swift Savior, Flying Flash. When Aang enters, airbend up to 1 other target creature spell. Exile. When it's exiled, its owner may cast it for 2 rather than paying its. It's really good if you have some high cost creature spells. And we've got Aang and La, Ocean's Fury. Reach, Trample. Whenever Aang and La attack, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Interesting. Trying to wonder if I have anything that this would be good in right now. I'm sure I can find something. We've got a Waterbending Scroll, a Mountain, and an Ally. Not a collab, but just opening some Avatar packs that I picked up on pre-release day. Ilman. We got a Giant Koi. Yup. Foggy Swamp Vinebender. Lightning Strike. Azula. Always Lies. Earth Kingdom Soldier. Cat Owl. Another cross-bred animal. Fire Navy Trebuchet. Benevolent River Spirit. A Dragonfly Swarm. That's pretty cool. Toph. The Greenland. Ba Sing Se. This land enters tapped unless you control a basic land. Add 1 green. For 2 and a green, Earthbend to activate on sorcery. Basically, Earthbend is target land you control becomes a 0/0 creature with haste that's a land. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on it, or whatever the Earthbend value is. This case it was 2. And then when it dies or is exiled, it returns to the battlefield tapped. So, kind of nice that the land, even if it is destroyed as a creature, it still comes back as a land. No. Actually, I'm just doing this for fun tonight. Typically, my group and I, we review board games, but I play a lot of Commander. Figured I could start opening packs since I buy them anyway, and just go through and see what we hit and get a feel for some of the new sets. Otherwise, I also play a lot of different video games. Haven't streamed that in a while, but might get back to doing some like Arc Raiders or Tarkov now that 1.0 is out, and see how that goes. Foggy Swamp of Vinebender, Lightning Strike, Azula Always Lies, Waterbending Lesson, Glider Kids, Kyoshi Warriors, Aang's Journey, Destined Confrontation, Zhang the Desert. I don't think I've seen this one yet. Firebending 1. So whenever this creature attacks, you add 1 mana, or whatever the firebending value is, and then that mana lasts until the end of combat. Exhaust 3. Put a +1/+1 counter on Zhang. When you next cast a lesson spell this turn, copy it and you may another way to copy some spells. That's pretty cool. Vigilance, other allies you control get +1/+1. Pretty straightforward. Energy Bending. Lands you control gain all basic land type. Oh, that's interesting. So if you're hurting for certain mana colors, you can throw this out there. Give all your lands, make them mountain, forest, swamp, plains, island, and you get to draw a card for 2. Oh, Toph, the first metal bender. Non-token artifacts you control are lands, in addition to their other types. They don't gain the ability. So there's non-token artifacts you control are lands in addition to their other types. So they just become a land, but they can't gain the ability to tap for mana. At the end, target land you control becomes a 0/0 with haste. Oh, basically you can earthbend them then. And then it would return to the battlefield. That's interesting. Hog Monkey and a Foggy Bottom Swamp, and then whatever that is. It's going to proceed. Come on. Let's get this open. Alright, we got a Flexible Waterbender, Compassionate Healer, Origin of Metal Bending, Mongoose Lizard, Foggy Swamp Hunters, Vindictive Warden, Zuko's Exile. Exile target artifact, creature, enchantment. Its controller creates a clue for 5. Pretty expensive. Hey, bye. Spirit of Balance. Honest Work. Ruinous Waterbending. Another Warbloon. And then we got Iroh, the Grand Lotus. Firebending 2. Which that's add 2 red mana when he attacks. During your turn, each non-lesson instant and sorcery card in your graveyard has flashback. The flashback cost is equal to that card's mana cost. So basically you can play spells out of your non-lesson spells out of your graveyard for their cost. And then they become exiled. During your turn, each lesson card in your graveyard has... Oh, you can do lessons as well, but they cost 1 instead of what they cost. So that's pretty neat. That looks like an uncommon bitter work. Ooh, for sure. Alright, and the forest and token. I think I actually have, if I remember right, I think I have the full art. Yeah, I have the full art Iroh. So that is a double up, but still pretty cool. Okay, I gotta get better at knowing how to open packs, apparently. Ooh, that's cool. I haven't seen a spirit token before. Or yet. Boomy Bash, Foggy Swamp Hunters, Watery Grasp, Zhang's Deserters, Wall-Top Sentries, Pretending Poxbears, Kyoshi Battle Fan. Whoa! Someone did something. Yo, Tom, thanks for the donation to Extra Life. Appreciate it. Now I gotta really keep an eye out for that cub. Trolls of War. When this enchantment enters, create a clue token. What does that get us over? Gets us over 2150. I don't know, math's hard. 2175. Create a clue token whenever you sacrifice a permanent during your turn. Create a 1/1 ally. So basically, you're gonna crack your clues or whatever and create allies. Heroes Demonstration, Seismic Sense, Heartless Act. Destroy target creature with no counters on it, or return up to 3 counters from target creature. I haven't seen this. Alright. Avatar's Wrath. Choose up to 1 target creature, then airbend all other creatures. Which means exile them. While each one is exiled, its owner may cast it for 2 rather than its mana cost. Until your next turn, your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than hands. And then you exile that. That's interesting. So it's basically a board wipe. Minus 1 creature. But all the creatures can be played back for 2 mana. Which you can play yours instantly. And the opponents have to wait until your next turn to do the same. That's pretty cool. Then we got Boomy, King of 3 Trials, and nothing else. I mean, I already got, so just to prove to you, Tom, we did already get, there we go, Washi Tong. So that was pretty exciting. Probably should be sleeving it, but we'll figure that out eventually. Iguana Parrot, Path to Redemption. Oops, I keep putting it too far forward. Wall-Top Sentries, Boomy Bash, Pirate Peddlers, Watery Grasp, Earth Rumble Wrestlers, Earth Rumble, Master Piando, White Lotus Hideout, Bai Fang's Bounty Hunters. Whenever a non-land creature you control dies, Earthbend X, where X is that creature's power. Interesting. So basically a creature dies and you get to turn a land into a XX, where X was the creature's power. Cool. Oh, and there's another Aang Swift Savior, but full art. So that's pretty nice. Aang in-law and Ostrich Horse and a card thingy majigger. Boop. Alright, Badger, Mole, Cub. I don't know where he is, but he's got to be in this box somewhere. Or that is the hope. Let's actually see if I can do this a little differently. That maybe. Move the camera so it's more pointed this way. There we go. Waterbending Lessons, Glider Kids, Turtle Duck, Yuyan Archers, Beetle-Headed Merchants, Wandering Musicians, Otter Penguin, Invasion Reinforcements, Twin Blades, True Ancestry, Day of the Black Sun. Each creature with mana value X or less loses all abilities until end of turn. Then destroy all those creatures. Oh, that's cool. So if they have like a leave the battlefield effect, it would cancel it out before killing them. So things like the Butcher of Malakir and Noble Artisan wouldn't trigger them if you had X greater than their mana value. Fire Lord Zuko. Firebending X, where X is Fire Lord Zuko's power. Whenever you cast a spell from exile, whenever a permanent you control enters from exile, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Interesting. Cat Owl, Foggy Bottom Swamp, and an ally. Jeez, I'm just butchering these packs. Firebending Lesson, Hog Monkey, It'll Quench Ya, Avatar Enthusiast, Rebellious Captives, Barrels of Blasting Jelly, Cycle of Renewal, Crashing Wave. As an additional cost, cast a spell Waterbend X. Tap up to X target creatures, then distribute 3 stun counters among tap creatures your opponents control. Combustion Technique, Meteor Sword. Wow, 7. When this equipment enters, destroy target permanent. Equipped creature gets +3/+3. Water Railer. Tri-Rallier. Earthbender Ascension. When this enchantment enters, Earthbend 2. Then search your library for a basic land, put it on the battlefield tap, then shuffle. Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, put a quest counter on this enchantment. When you do, if it has 4 or more quest counters on it, put a +1/+1 counter on each target creature you control. It gains trample until end of turn. That's pretty cool. Eppa, the Loyal Sky Bison. And a full art Plains. That's cool. Whoops, I got the packs here. Kind of getting confused with all the stuff I got going on here. Hope everyone's having a good night watching football or relaxing. Avatar Enthusiast, Saber-Tooth Moose Line, Firebending Lesson, Hog Monkey, Geyser Leaper, Shang Shang's Deserters, Earth Kingdom Soldier, a Tundra Tank, Jet's Brainwashing, Momo, the Playful Pet, Katara, the Bending Prodigy. Ooh, Avatar Aang. That's cool. Don't have that one yet. Flying Firebending 2. Whenever you Waterbend, Earthbend, Firebend, or Airbend. Which one are we missing? Water, Earth, Fire, Air. There must be all but the black bending mechanic, which I can't remember what it's called. Then if you've done all 4 of this turn, transfer Avatar Aang. He turns into Aang, Master of the Elements. Flying. Spells you cast cost 1 of every color less to cast. And this can reduce generic costs. At the beginning of each upkeep, you may transform Aang, Master of Elements. If you do, you gain 4 life. Draw 4 cards. Put 4 +1/+1 counters on him. And he deals 4 damage. That is cool. Huh. So you just have to do all 4 airbendings a turn to transform them. Very interesting. I like that. That seems like it'd be fun to figure out a build for Commander. There's got to be a way to make that viable. Ooh, that's a cool token. Dragon token. I haven't seen that yet. Octopus Form, Curious Farm Animals, Raucous Audience, Porcupine, Canyon Crawler, Messenger Hawk, Bender's Waterskin, Zuko's Conviction, Hermitic Herbalist, Zuko, Exiled Prince, Suki, Kyoshi Warrior, Spirit Water Revival. As an additional cost, cast a spell, you may Waterbend 6. Draw 2 cards. If the spell's additional cost was paid, instead shuffle your graveyard into your library, draw 7 cards, and you have no maximum hand size. That's cool. And a Northern Iron Temple, a full art forest, and a food token. Pretty sweet. I'm sharing a little drink here. Still trying to recover from being up for, I don't know, almost 48 hours straight or something. Rebellious Captives, Fire Nation Raider, Callous Inspector, Lost Days, Airbending Lesson, Barrels of Blasting Jelly, Abandoned Attachments, Fancy Footwork, Air Nomad Legacy, The Boulder, Ready to Rumble, Ty Lee, the Earth King. Whenever the Earth King enters, create a 4/4 green bear token. Whenever one or more creatures control power 4 or greater attack, search your library for up to that many basic land cards, put them on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Interesting, so 4 mana gets you a 4/4 and this 2/2. And then when the bear attacks, you can get 4 lands. Or something else can attack. Platypus bear, a food token. Forecasting Fortune Teller, Sandbender Storm, Rumble Arena, Origin of Metal Bending, Cunning Maneuver, Pretending Pox Bears, Platypus Bear, Earth Kingdom Protectors, Fire Nation Engineer, Ember Island Production, My Jaded Edge, Katara Water Tribe's Hope, Vigilance. When Katara enters, create a 1/1 white ally creature token, Waterbend X. Creatures you control have base power and toughness XX until end of turn. X can't be 0. Activate only during your turn. That seems pretty cool. Ooh, a foil for energy bending, a swamp, and a copy token. I don't know. I like a lot of the cards I'm seeing here. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I feel like there's something you could do with a lot of these. Swamp Snare Trap, Giant Koi, yep, Foggy Swamp Vinebender, Deserter's Disciple, Deadly Precision, Kyoshi Warriors, Cat Gator, Knowledge Seeker, Earth Kingdom Jailer, Fire Nation Warship, Secret of Bloodbending. Oh, that must be the black mechanic. As an additional cost to cast a spell, you may waterbend 10. You control a target opponent during their next combat phase. If the spell's additional cost was paid, you control that player during their next turn instead. Oh, so instead, wow. So you can either control them during their combat phase for paying the 4 blue mana, or you can do the 4 and then waterbend 10, which is either pay the cost or tap 10 artifacts or creatures. That's really cool. Foil Zuko's Exile, Full Iron Mountain, nothing else. Oh, yeah, that would make sense. That'd be really good and limited. There's a Badger Mole. It's not the Cub, but it's a Badger Mole. Right on top. This is it. Deserter's Disciple, Deadly Precision, First Time Flyer, Water Tribe Captain, Zuko's Exile, Rumble Arena, Long Fang, Buzzard Wasp Colony, Serpent of the Pass, Xiao, the Moonslayer, Menace, non-basic lands, enter tap. That's kind of good. Put a Conquer counter on Xiao. As long as Xiao has a Conquer counter on him, non-basic lands are mountains. Oh, that's also really good. They lose all, basically makes non-basic lands garbage, which can be very powerful. Oh, the red land. Fire Nation Palace. This land enters tapped unless you control a basic land. Tap for 1 red mana, or pay 2, or 1 in a red. Target creature you control gains Firebending 4 until end of turn. Not bad. And now I token. Was not the Badger Mole Cub, though. How come the Badger Mole Cub is better than the Badger Mole itself? Sold Out, Iguana Parrot, Compassionate Healer, Earthbending Lesson, Mongoose Lizard, Bender's Waterskin, Messenger Hawk, Invasion Submersible, Full Art Dai Li Agents, Zhao, Ruthless Admiral. The Black Land. This land enters tapped unless you control a basic land. Add 1 black mana. For 3 and a black, create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token with this token can't block or be blocked by non-spirit creatures. Cool. Boomy Unleashed. Trample. When Boomy enters, Earthbend 4. When Boomy deals combat damage to a player, untap all lands you control. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Only land creatures can attack during that combat. That's cool. So basically you make a red-green earthbending deck and have this guy either be the commander or be in it and just do combats with all your lands. Sandbender Storm, Misty Palms Oasis. Too many packs. Lost Days, Water Tribe Captain, Badger Mole, Union Archers, Dilay Indoctrination, Otter Penguin. What the heck? Oh, snap. That is a great henge. That is definitely worth something. The Banyan Tree. This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Add 2 green mana, you gain 2 life. Whenever a non-token creature you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on it and draw a card. That is really, really good. Huh. Didn't even know that was in here. Pretty neat. Aang, the Last Airbender. Tio, Spirit Glider. Earth Kingdom General. Habe, Spirit of Balance. And then we got a Sokka, Tenacious Tactician. Tenacious. Menace, Prowess. Other allies you control have menace and prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 ally creature token. Cool. Yeah, I did not know it was in here. Of course, it doesn't come up when I was searching through the cards for the set because it's probably a bonus sheet thing. The ban, yeah. Whoop. Oh yeah, that's a pretty penny. Pretty neat. So I got the two most expensive cards out of the set, or out of the packs that you can get. Pretty exciting, I guess. Can always use more great henges. I don't even remember what deck the one is that I got from JT for all my Pizza Tea chicken tendies that I bought them. Fire Nation Raider, Callous Inspector, Geyser Leaper, Rabaro Troop, Ostrich Horse, Cat Owl, Merchant of Many Hats, Master Paku, Uncle Iroh, The Cave of Two Lovers, Azula on the Hunt, Foggy Swamp Visions. As an additional cost to cast spell Waterbend. Exile X target creature cards from graveyards for each creature card exiled this way. Create a token that's a copy of it. No, we've already had this card. Cunning Maneuver, North Pole Gates. Boop. Pretty neat. Pillar Launch, Fire Nation Cadets, Swamp Snare Trap, Giant Koi, Yip Yip, How to Start a Riot, Kyoshi Battle Fan, Airbender's Reversal, Sun Warriors, Sparring Dummy, Ozai's Cruelty, Iroh, the Tea Master. When Iroh enters, create a food token. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may have target opponent gain control of target permanent you control. When you do, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. Put a +1/+1 counter on the token for each permanent you own that your opponents control. That seems like a Blake card. I'm sure you can find something to do with that one. I'll probably give it to him. I think he has a red, white, blue. Oh, I can't remember. Some goat that has to do with drawing cards if opponents control your stuff. Watery Grasp. Zhangzhang's Deserters, Walltop Sentries, Firebending Lesson, Hog Monkey, Eloquentia, Platypus Bear, Crescent Island Temple, Cruel Administrator, Vengeful Villagers, Kyoshi Island Plaza, Airbender Ascension. When this target enters, airbend up to one target creature. Whenever a creature you control enters, put a quest counter on this enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, if this enchantment has 4 more quest counters on it, exile up to one target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Get to blink something every turn. Fire Nation Radio, Raider, Amashu City, and Ballistic Boulders. Down to the end here. Not looking promising for that cub. Waterbending Lesson, Curious Farm Animals, Rocky Rebuke, Treetop Freedom Fighters, Azula Always Lies, Wandering Musicians, Barrels of Blasting Jelly, White Lotus Hideout, Master Piandao, Uncle Iro, Obsessive Pursuit. When this enchantment enters and at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and create a clue token. Whenever you attack, put X +1/+1 counters and target tracking creature, whereas X is the number of permanents you've sacrificed this turn. If X is 3 or greater, that creature gains lifelink until end of turn. Oh, snap. So not only did I get Wan Shi Tong, but I also got the alt art, or the full art one. So that's pretty awesome. 2 of the chase card. Flexible Waterbender and an ally token. So that is pretty cool. Look at that. Beautiful. I feel like that means we are definitely not getting the cub. But maybe I will be pleasantly surprised. Turtle Duck, Yuan Archers, Beetle-Headed Merchants, Octopus Form, Curious Farm Animals, Zuko's Exile, Vindictive Warden, Epic Downfall, Bitter Work, Boomerang Basics. Yeah, this box is pretty good. There's a Sokka Bold Boomeranger. When Sokka enters, discard up to 2 cards, then draw them in cards. Whenever you cast an instant or lesson spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Sokka. Avatar Enthusiast, Full Art Swamp, and a food token. I got 4 packs left. Yeah, I will say that I definitely got my value out of this box. Avatar Enthusiast, Rebellious Captives, Fire Nation Raider, Callous Inspector, Geyser Leaper, Cat Owl, Earth Kingdom Soldier, Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper. Tigerdillo, North Pole Patrol, the Lighter Staff, another Toph, the Hard-Headed Teacher, ooh, and Wartime Protesters. Haste, whenever another ally you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature, and it gains haste until end of turn. Kyoshi Village, and a copy token. Getting a lot of bonus rares. Gotta love that. I do need to check football quick. My teams are all doing absolute garbage this weekend. Except for one. But it is the one that matters, so I guess that is good. Alright. Last 3. Rowdy Snowballers, Razor Rings, Raucous Audience, Porcupine, Canyon Crawler, Earth Village Ruffians, Aang's Journey, Invasion Tactics, Hama, the Bloodbender, Solstice Revelations, another Earthen Ally. Or no. Have I gotten this? I don't think so. This creature gets +1/+0 for each color among allies you control. 2 in every color, Earthbend 5. Okay. South Pole Voyager. Whenever this creature and another ally you control enters, you gain 1 life. If this is the second time this ability is resolved this turn, draw a card. So basically these go together. And then the Legend of Kyoshi. Jeez Louise, do I got more rares or mythics in here? Draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. Cool. Earthbend X, where X is the number of cards in your hand. Awesome. Exile a Sega, then return to the battlefield transformed under your control. Avatar Kyoshi. Lands you control have trample and hexproof. Cool. This goes in that landfall deck, or earthbending deck. Add X mana of any one color, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Seems pretty interesting. Potentially good. Raucous Audience, Porcupine, Canyon Crawler, Rowdy Snowballers, Razor Ranks, Rocky Rebuke, Earth Rumble Wrestlers, Gather the White Lotus, Crashing Wave, Meteor Sword, Fire Nation Attacks, the Fire Nation Drill. Trample. When the Fire Nation Drill enters, you may tap it. When you do, destroy target creature with power 4 or less. Permanents your opponent's control. That's pretty cool. Crew 2, that's pretty cheap for a 6/3. Paying 1 to make permanents your opponent's control lose hexproof and indestructible also seems really good. I like that. Size makes sense. And the moment of truth, the last pack. Let's hope for that Badger Mole Cub. Rabaroo Troop, Ostrich Horse, Rough Rhino Cavalry, Corrupt Court Official, First Time Flyer, Wandering Musicians, Merchant of Many Hats, The Cave of Two Lovers, Azula on the Hunt, Master Paku, Southern Air Temple, Ong's Iceberg. Flash. When this enchantment enters, exile up to one other target non-land permanent until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. Waterbend 3. Sacrifice this enchantment. If you do, scry 2. Sold out, full art planes, ally. No Badger Mole Cub for me either. Not cool. But I tried, so. I think that's all I'm going to do tonight. I just wanted to break that box, see what I got. I'm going to keep messing with my stream, get some Tarkov and Arc Raiders working, make sure I have everything optimized, and then I'll probably start streaming that more. But for tonight, just wanted to, like I said, open that Avatar box, go through some of the big hits there, and leave it at that. Although, here, I can probably find the most exciting things here quick. The Wan Shi Tong Librarian full art, the Banyan Tree, which is a great henge. I feel like Avatar Ink is pretty good, as is the other Wan Shi Tong that I got. I think those are the biggest 4, I would guess. So there you have it. Thanks everyone, and enjoy your evening.